Hello, everybody, and welcome to our live stream tonight.
Hello. Is that comments anymore?
Okay, I'm just checking something. Yeah.
Is it going?
It is. Your stream quality is good.
Okay. So are you coming to join me, or are you doing poopy pants?
I'm gonna be a little poopy pants tonight.
Well, you're just mean.
Hold on.
Okay. So, what interesting things do you have to talk about tonight?
Honestly, I don't know.
Honestly, you don't know, huh? Well, at least you're honest.
Yeah, I'm honest.
You're honest. I have no fucking clue what I want to talk about tonight. I don't think it really fucking matters. But you can go fuck yourself if you think it does. Well, I had kind of an interesting thing. I don't know how much you'll like it, but... So, I follow a couple of entrepreneur things on Instagram and such. And ironically, a lot of the stuff that they're telling people is stuff I already knew. I'm like, yeah, okay, I get you there. But something that they posted the other day kind of struck a chord with me.
Yeah.
And it's something that I learned from Jerry, as a matter of fact.
From who?
From Jerry?
From Jerry, huh?
Yeah. When I was working for Craftmatic.
Yeah.
But the thing that it said, and I kind of just wanted your take on this because it's something that probably would really piss off a lot of people. Do you know the difference between a liability and an asset?
No.
Okay, a liability is, say, something you have to pay for, something that is an expense or a recurring expense, right?
Right.
An asset is something that is worth something.
Yeah.
And it doesn't cost you money.
Okay. No,
Okay.
no. That makes a lot of sense.
Okay, so this thing, it was talking about the difference between poor people and rich people. And you know what the difference between poor people and rich people is, and how they always know. This is something we talked about before. You know how there's a group of people that they are like different than the rest of everybody else, but they want you to think that they're a certain way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they said that the difference between rich and poor people is that rich people have assets. Whereas poor people will buy liabilities.
So where do you fall in?
My camera's paid for and it makes me money, if that tells you anything. That is an asset. It was a one-time expenditure other than like lenses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it makes me money, so therefore it is an asset. So, okay, this takes me back to what I was talking about before with, you know, these people that come into money or have a windfall drop in their lap. What's the first thing that they go out and do?
Waste it?
Oh, I want to go buy a Bugatti. I want to go buy $1 million house. I want to go buy this. I want a boat. And I know that it's fucked up, but a house is a liability. Unless it is completely paid in full, it is a liability. And even then, it is still a liability. But you can have equity in it if it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of a sketchy thing, but that's the difference there. And I thought it was funny because they were talking about how you make money as you borrow money. And then when you borrow the money, it's how you use that money that depends on where you go from there. And I just thought it was an interesting concept because that was like truly how it works. And when you see a lot of people like, okay, how many people won the lottery and are so far in debt right now they don't know what to do? Because they went out and bought the $1 million home. They went out and bought the Bugatti. Okay, an oil change on the Bugatti is fucking 20 grand. So you don't think about the upkeep of all these things. Okay, what are the taxes on $1 million home? Okay, or you could not talk to me. That's cool too.
What are the taxes on $1 million?
Okay, what are two things that you pay for every year?
Property tax.
And?
I don't know
You gotta buy plates for your vehicle. Right?
Right.
So there's two things that will always be a liability, no matter how much of an asset they are, right?
Right.
Because, and that's where people go wrong, is that, yeah, you buy all this expensive ass shit, but you don't realize that your property tax is going to be $100 grand every fucking year for your $1 million home, right?
Right.
You don't realize that your fucking taxes on your Bugatti are going to be 50 grand every fucking year. And heaven forbid something break on it. You know, I always thought it was funny. Everybody used to laugh at my dad because they're like, you could afford a really cool car. Why do you drive a fucking, you know, the fucking Vista Cruiser in that 70s show?
Mm-hmm.
That was our station wagon. That was the first station wagon. He got another one. My mom was the one with the Fiat. My dad drove a goddamn station wagon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, think about it. Okay, other than the fact that my brother hit a tree doing about 20, 30 miles an hour down our fucking driveway into a tree and totaled the Fiat. How many times do you think he wrecked that fucking... I know they used to do some crazy ass shit with my dad's fucking car.
Did they?
Yeah.
Tell me about the crazy shit they used
I
to
don't
do.
know. They never took me with them. They were smart in that aspect because my dad would have killed them. You don't take your sister and do crazy ass shit. I know they were driving it the night that they got arrested for arson. Yeah, they went down to City Park. They were drunk as fuck and poured gasoline on one of the soccer fields saying fuck you and lit it up. I mean, okay, in the scheme of arson, that wasn't very bad, but yeah, that's kind of shit my brothers used to get into. But so, in that aspect, what do you think about that? I mean, you have these goals in life to do things, and I hear you all the time. I want this and I want that. How do you think that fits in? I mean, what would you change if you realized that everything that you wanted was a liability, not an asset? And with the right assets, you could have streams of income coming in that you don't have to do anything. You just have to collect the money, basically. It's the initial setup, and then you collect the money.
Well, honestly, I think that would be a lot better than what... Let me reword that. I think that if I put the work out there and I was working hard enough at something, yeah, I would want to be able to...
You're Dr. Dre, and you just got, I don't know, however much it was that he got for all of his beats. What do you do with that money? That's what I want to know. What do you do with that money? How much did he get? Like 60 mil?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got $60 million. What do you do with $60 million? What's the first thing you're going to do?
I'm gonna... You know, I would actually donate it.
Okay, don't be all fucking whitey. Okay, this is your life's work, and you're going to donate your life's work to fucking charity? Get real.
I'm thinking.
Okay, yes, you could donate some of it to charity, but you're not going to give... Okay, wait a second. Are you watching evangelistic TV while I'm asleep or something? Did they brainwash you into giving you all their money?
No. Actually, if you really want to be technical and you want to know what I would actually do with that much money...
Okay, what is the first thing you do? The very first thing you got, the check just cleared the bank. You've got 60 mil in your bank account to do with whatever the fuck you want. What's the first thing you do?
I'm buying a fucking house.
Okay, what kind of house? Are we talking Cherry Hills Mansion? Are we talking fucking cabin in the woods? Fucking
cabin in the...
Are we talking dilapidated shack on the outskirts of town where everybody thinks you're fucking the crazy psycho person? I mean, what are we talking here?
The dilapidated shack.
Really?
I'm totally kidding. I'm talking some cabin in the woods shit.
Okay, so are we talking like the $1 million cabin in the woods, or are we talking the conservative cabin in the woods?
I'm talking cabin in the woods where you'd run an ash.
Okay. Okay. They're a bit nicer these days, but I get you. Okay, so what else are you gonna do?
I'm gonna make sure I have a snowmobile.
Okay, so you have a liability. You have 2 liabilities there. What else are you gonna do?
Go on a murderous rampage and see if anybody realizes it's me.
I'm being serious here.
I'm actually being serious about that last one.
Okay, this is... What if? Not what if you were a psycho serial killer and moved to Alaska just so you could kill people and nobody'd ever find the bodies. We've all fucking thought about that. They even fucking put Dexter there. Everybody's thought about that so fucking much. Okay? So, let's get on with it. Look at Robert Hansen. Don't tell me people that they have a saying that people that move to Alaska are trying to escape something, and they've got more serial killers per capita. We're not going to get into those statistics or shit anyway. But go ahead. So you've got 2 liabilities. What else you gonna do?
Wow. Well, I'm gonna also make sure my kids are hooked up pretty nicely.
Okay, so trust funds for the kids. That's the first asset that you've made. Because it's not necessarily an asset for you, but it's an asset for your kids.
Well, then there's also the fact that I'd want like 50 fucking pit bulls.
Okay, some more assets, well, okay, see, your liabilities here. What are you doing? Okay, so keep going. Keep going.
I'm thinking really hard. Oh, I just almost took my kid's head off. I'm talking about my dog. Let's see. I also got to think about my profession. And I'd want to buy certain assets from the Unreal Engine store.
You just had to throw that in there. I'm buying real assets, you fucking bitch. Go ahead.
Wow, you put it that way, and you just made me sound like a terrible human being.
No, it was actually quite funny. It was meant in a comical way.
What?
I'm buying assets, which are going to be an asset. So fuck you. I got to. That's a double asset because it's just implied.
I'm a double ass for that one. Well, yeah, because I'd start thinking about my livelihood.
Okay.
And I would hire
more liabilities.
More liabilities, you know.
Okay.
There's actually
So per se, how much of the 60 mil have you already spent?
Not that much of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're talking a somewhat decent cabin in the woods, right? Not an ash shack, which even if you got an ash shack here in fucking Colorado, you're probably looking at $300,000, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna write this down: $300,000 for the house, right?
Right.
How much for the truss?
I'd say $3 million each.
3 mil each?
$3 million each.
Okay, 3 mil each. Okay, and then you said assets. Assets. Okay, how much on assets?
50.
$50 or 50?
50,000.
Okay, so 50 grand. Okay, what else?
Let's see. I'd have another $3 million spent on you.
On me, huh?
On you.
Well, what about, what do I need that's going to cost $3 million? Unless you're talking about the house I grew up in, there ain't shit that you can buy for $3 million for me that I need.
Oh, you say that now and wait until you get camera equipment.
Okay, so say Okay, this is gonna shock a lot of people, but if you were gonna do that, it would be about 80 grand.
80 grand, huh?
80 grand for the supreme camera that I would probably never be able to use to its full potential. Just say it.
Yeah.
So, that's...
That sounds like something I'd waste money on.
Okay, now hang on, because the camera that I've had my eyeball on is 30 grand by itself. It's a fucking medium format Pentax, and that's the camera body itself, nothing else. So you see how that gets up to 80 grand real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be an asset and a liability, right?
Right.
So, hang on. And that, okay, we will call that an asset for you, okay?
Okay.
Your assets, your asset. Anyhow, what else?
Well, you know, I'd definitely get a better graphics tablet.
Okay, so how much on equipment?
If we go with the one I want, it's going to be about 14,000.
Yeah, so we'll go 15, all the bells and whistles, right?
Right.
Okay, and this is also an asset and a liability, right?
Right.
Because if it breaks. Okay, what else?
Well,
Ray would just straight up buy a fucking notebook factory. So how much is a notebook factory?
yes, I would straight up buy a notebook factory.
Okay, so what else would you do?
Well, definitely not hire you. Just kidding. I'm so kidding, Mom.
Nice, nice. I'm going somewhere with this.
What else would I do?
Okay, you said you'd donate to charity, so how much would you donate to charity?
Well, it depends on the cause.
It's whatever the fuck you want it to be, because this is what the fuck if.
1 mil to...
Okay, how much altogether to charity?
1 mil.
1 mil, okay. So, that is a tax write-off. So, that is actually an asset. That's also how a lot of rich people hide their money.
Really?
Yes. Because if they can get rid of enough money, it brings them down to a lower tax bracket so they pay less in taxes. It's like some slime ball shit that does some good along the way, so what the fuck do you do, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what else?
Well, I'd put my girls through amazing school.
Okay, that kind of falls in with the trust.
Okay.
But okay, let's say school.
And we need to get you a nursing home where you can have your wheelchair weight races.
If I make it to the nursing home, shit.
You'll make it.
Okay, so now we're just kind of reaching for shit, right?
Right.
Alright, so, no car or anything like that?
Nope.
Okay, so, with your liability, you're looking at putting out more money, right?
Right.
So if something breaks, that's more money. Okay, most people, they go buy a car, they go buy this, they go buy that, this, that, and the other. Gotta get all of the premium channels, you know, do it up good, steak every night, fucking, you know, Kobe beef, the fucking, yeah. Right? So that's where a lot of people go horribly wrong. So what I would do, and this is something that a lot of people don't think to do, or I guess that it's just not commonly taught to people unless you get into certain areas. First thing you do, you set up your retirement.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what happens with the money that you've got that covered, right?
Right.
You set up trust for the kids. Right? So your kids are taken care of. No matter what happens, kids are taken care of, right?
Yep.
Okay, so those are the first two things. Right off the bat. The next thing you do is you get savings bonds. Because do you know what savings bonds do?
Mm-mm.
Basically, with a savings bond, you're loaning your money to the bank. And you hold them for X amount of time, and you make money off of them when they come due. You earn interest on them. So basically, some of your money is gonna sit anyway, right? So why not make money for you?
Right.
And I think you can do like 2-year, 3-year, 5-year, 10-year, I mean, stuff like that, and the interest rate goes up the higher up you go with it. So all you got to do is hold on to those, and you've made more money on top of the money that you put into it. Right?
Right.
Okay. I'm not sure about the whole taxes thing with that, but they may not be able to tax those either, which is another important thing. Some people would say put money in the stock market. I know a lot of people that do that. I know a lot of people that got rich from doing that, but it is basically like going to Vegas. You're gambling a lot with it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you do stuff like that. You find a good interest-bearing savings account.
Yeah.
And you figure out how much you would have to put in there to live off of the interest. Right?
Right.
So you keep that in that savings and never touch it, and therefore you have always got that income every year. Yes, it fluctuates, but it's never going to fluctuate that much, right?
Right.
So you do that so that you're earning interest on this money instead of spending it. So that money sitting in the bank account is making you money.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what the trick that credit card companies pull on everybody is? They tell you all you have to do is pay the lowest possible amount, right? But if you pay the lowest possible amount, you are getting gouged like a motherfucker with interest.
Yeah.
Because they're loaning you the money, right? And you have to pay interest on that. So when you have stuff like that, you always overpay. Because guess what? They can't charge you on interest on what's already been paid, right?
Right.
So if it says this is the minimum amount that you have to pay over that, because that's going to take care of some of that interest. And it's going to bring the total cost down that you pay back to them. I can't believe they don't teach this shit in fucking school.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why do you feel that way about it?
Because how many people would know that? I mean, I talk to a lot of I talk to a lot of kids that they have no fucking clue about credit. Or how any of that works.
I know how some of it works, but not all of it.
Well, I got a crash course in a lot of it because I was doing the financing for... Yeah.
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 And it's pretty fucked up what they do. And so that's what you want to do. You want to create income streams instead of streams where your income is going out. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And there's simple ways to do it if you have the money to do it. Even just a regular person having an interest-bearing savings account, that's going to earn you some money on the money that you have in there every year.
Yeah.
So that always, it's the little shit like that that gets you. And if you've got X amount of money and you have spent X amount of money and you've got this much more that has to go out monthly, you're not looking at, okay, I've got $60 million, this is going to cost me this every month. They're like, oh, I've got all the money in the fucking world, and next thing you know, you're broke. And well, it happens a lot more than you think it does. I mean, look at, everybody's fascinated with Hollywood and everything, and how many people have gone from being on the top of the world to basically homeless because of bad decisions that they made.
A lot of people.
I don't know, I just thought it was a pretty cool concept, and a lot of people don't really think of it that way. They think about, I gotta keep up with the Joneses. What they don't realize is Mr. Maserati only drives it on fucking Sunday. Because it's too fucking expensive otherwise, and if he wrecks it, he's out a bunch of fucking money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of a Vector? It's a sports car. It's a handmade sports car. Fucking beautiful car. I know the guy whose father bought the 7th one ever made. Because 007, James Bond, haha. It's sitting in a museum in Germany right now. So he bought a $500,000 fucking car to sit in a fucking museum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds... that reminds me of, like, somebody I used to know.
Well, he also had a BMW that they called the Bat Car. And it was like an illegal to the United States BMW. That thing was so fucking... It was like riding on air. It was fucking amazing. And the battery died on it, and somebody tore the whole fucking car up, taking the stereo system out of it. And it's also sitting in fucking Germany in a museum right now.
Is it really?
Yeah. It cost more to fix it than the car was worth. They did that much damage to it.
Wow.
Yeah. So his dad took the car from him and shipped it off to Germany. It was illegal in the United States anyway, so it, they had the money to fucking pay for whatever, but yeah. But then again, the dad was also living in the UK because he was evading taxes here, so... hey, you meet all kinds, right?
Yeah.
I always wondered, if I had that kind of money, would I be like that? I don't think I would.
You don't think you would?
No. I've always maintained, if I was rich as fuck, nobody'd ever know. I would live a meager life. I mean, I don't need a whole lot to make me happy. I might have some exotic plants nobody ever heard of. Oh yeah, that one was like $15,000. And don't touch it. Don't breathe on it. Don't even look at it.
You and your exotic plants.
Oh yeah. That or I'd have like my backyard look like Mr. Miyagi's backyard. I fucking love that. And have some real koi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see you with that, though.
Oh, I'd love that. That would be... I don't know how well my sunflowers would fit into a Japanese garden, but we'd fucking try. Right?
Right. Okay, buddy.
I don't know. That was my thing, though. I just thought you might find that interesting.
It is.
And it's... ask people, because a lot of people, oh yeah, I'm going to buy a car, I'm going to buy a house, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that. Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay. But we're not taught to do that, are we?
No, we're not.
We're taught go to school, work at McDonald's as you're coming up, go to college, get a good job. The American dream is to go into debt, literally. I just want to be the thing that scares people in the woods.
You just want to be the thing that scares people in the woods, huh?
Yes.